All right, everybody, Logan Alex, CPA here. So I've said this several times, but additional state and local government funding is really a top priority for House Democrats in the next relief bill, CARES 2, okay? The two most prominent and powerful Democrats in Congress, Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House, and Chuck Schumer, Senate Minority Leader, have both put this at the top of their agenda. Now, I know that this issue of state and local funding is not as attention-grabbing, it's not as sexy as talking about $2K a month, right? But additional funding for state and local governments is what the heavy hitters are talking about. The grown-ups in the room, if you will, okay? This is at the top of Pelosi's list, and this is something that Mitch McConnell, who if anyone would really be the biggest roadblock to this, has hinted that he's open to, as I've shared with you in a couple updates previously, okay? Now, Trump hasn't spoken too kindly about state and local government relief, but if a bill, the next relief package, gets through the Democrat-controlled House and the Republican-controlled Senate, I doubt Trump would veto a Phase 4 relief package less than 6 months before the election, right? Not a good look to basically give the finger to both parties, both houses of Congress, about a relief package in an election year during a crisis, right? Now, what does this matter to you? Well, it matters because you all live in states and counties and cities, or unincorporated areas of counties, and if your states and counties and cities aren't doing well, it affects you. It affects the quality of your life. It affects funding for things like education, right? For example, state colleges and universities to attract the best and the brightest. It affects things like police and the other aspects of government that keep you safer, right? But beyond that, and this is what I want to talk about right now, is that it's possible with an immense relief package for state and local governments, we could perhaps see direct cash payments, stimulus payments, from states and cities to their own residents and business owners. This would not be new, and we're seeing this play out right now in Duval County, Florida. That's where Jacksonville is, largest city in Florida, all right? Almost 1 million people in Jacksonville alone, all right? Duval County received $160 million in the CARES Act, okay? And in late April, Jacksonville Mayor Lenny Curry said that the county would offer $1,000 payments to those who make less than $75,000 per year and who have lost at least 25% of their income due to COVID-19 and who were employed on February 29th. So this is rather, than really a true stimulus payment. It's more like additional unemployment compensation in a way, right? But it still shows that, hey, here's a local government who is giving direct cash payments to its residents. And people were happy. They said that unlike applying for unemployment in Florida, the process for receiving this $1,000 at the county level was smooth, quick, and clean. And we've seen other local governments having a similar idea. One of the precinct commissioners, okay, in Montgomery County, Texas, James Nowak, put out a statement that said he's proposing the use of a portion of local CARES Act funds go back to Montgomery County taxpayers in the form of a stimulus check, okay? Chickasha, Oklahoma, this week the city voted to send $50 to each household to stimulate spending. Now, this last one wasn't a result of CARES Act funding. In fact, the CARES Act left out a lot of smaller localities, frankly, compared to bigger ones. The city in Oklahoma, what it was actually doing was just the city returning to the residents a sales tax that they had previously paid. But my point is, this is just another example of a city sending out stimulus payments to their own residents. Now, of course, this could happen at the state level as well. I told you before about California Governor Gavin Newsom, whose aunt, by the way, was married to Pelosi's brother-in-law, saying that he wants to give $500 to undocumented immigrants who are not eligible for the CARES Act stimulus. Another example of that going on at the local level is in Somerville, Massachusetts, okay? And in Seguin, Texas, the city council has approved a Seguin Strong stimulus program to set aside $250,000 to make grants to qualified small businesses inside the Seguin city limits. Look, I'm not saying that your town or city or county or state is for sure going to have its own stimulus program, okay? Even if some huge state and local aspect of CARES 2 passes, all right? But I think you should pay attention to the state and local stuff as well, in addition to your general well-being where you live, right? But also because it appears that with the right funding, at least some local governments, maybe even state governments, right, may do the same thing, right? They may contemplate stimulus payments for their own residents out of the federal funds that they receive in a stimulus bill. I just want to put that out there. It's just food for thought. Okay, that's all for now. Of course, when CARES 2 comes out, I will tell you all about it. Be sure to check out the links below. Also today at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, 2:30 p.m. Pacific, I will be going live with the Rideshare Guy for a Q&A session. So be sure to tune in on the Rideshare Guy's channel then. I'll be talking about stimulus, unemployment, PVP, EIDL, all that stuff, right? So be sure to tune in there, especially if you're a rideshare driver, because that's what his channel is about, okay? Check out the links below, 2 free stocks, and I'll see you later today over on the Rideshare Guys channel. Bye-bye.